Willie D Live.
I'm a very calculated and very cerebral person.
Yeah, I'm an advocate for free speech too. You know, you told me that you were familiar with my music, and I get it. I get free speech. But you know, I get free speech.
Okay.
Now check this out. I really do understand comedy, and I do know that comedy is subjective.
Right.
What's offensive to one person may not be offensive to another person.
Exactly.
So, you know, having said that, when you start talking about telling jokes about black folks' pain in front of white folks, it hit different because white folks are the dominant group in this society that we occupy.
So what if I make a food stamp joke? That could be painful for somebody.
Yes, it could. Yes, it could. But the difference is that the food joke is for everybody. Food stamp joke is for everybody. Everybody's on welfare. In fact, most white people are on welfare. So more white people are on welfare than black people are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying.
That wouldn't necessarily.
I'm not trying to argue the facts. I'm just saying, like,
black
anything can be offensive to somebody.
Right.
Anything can be offensive to somebody. My dad died in November. You know, I joke about him. Why don't people say that's too far?
Because it's your pain. You know,
well, but people are saying that George Floyd should be my pain as well. So how can I, if we collectively share this pain from George Floyd and you want me to feel his pain, why can't I talk about it? Because comedy is a coping mechanism. I became a comedian because I did not like to fight.
I don't necessarily believe that George Floyd pain should be your pain. But what I'm speaking to is that.
But I should relate to it, right?
No, I think that anybody can relate to having empathy. All of us should have a capacity to have empathy. You know,
I do have empathy.
So when you think about making a joke about George Floyd, somebody who died, and it sparked an entire movement all around the world because black people, black men specifically, are being gunned down in the streets like dogs by the police, and there's no accountability for it. And so here's the thing. I get that you have a majority white audience and you have to tell jokes that makes them laugh also, but here's the difference.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Willie?
But here's the difference. Let me finish the point first.
Okay.
Absolutely, you can ask me a question. The point is, George Floyd, what happened to George Floyd could happen to you. It's more likely to happen to you than anybody in your white fan base.
Okay.
And so that's the difference. And also is because, see, when you crack jokes about white folks and that could possibly offend white folks,
right,
the difference between offending them and offending us is that they can decide when they don't want to laugh anymore and when they want to shut you down. They could shut you down. We don't have the luxury or the power to shut you down like that. They can tell you at any point, you ain't playing no more funny. You ain't playing at the Funny Bone anymore. You're not gonna play at the Improv. You're not playing at none of these arenas and stuff that we own. They could shut you down. You ain't getting no films. You ain't getting no sitcoms. And that is the difference, I do believe, in why black comics will offend black people and feel no need to apologize.
I don't believe
but stay away. But stay away from jokes that offend white folks.
I don't agree.
Explain.
Because I have jokes that offend white people.
What I'm saying? Now I get that. But there is when it comes to jokes that offend white folks, you can tell jokes that offend white folks. That's not a big deal as far as just telling the joke itself. As long as white folks are laughing at those jokes. As long as white folks, for example, Richard Pryor would tell jokes about white folks all the time. Richard Pryor was one of the most conscious comedians ever, but you wouldn't know it if you wasn't really watching and really thinking, because Richard covered everything. But one thing what he did is that even in our pain, he made, if he talked, whoever he so-called offended, he made that particular group or person laugh first.
Okay.
And he made them laugh at his jokes first. And they didn't have to look around and see who else was laughing. He made them laugh first. He made white folks laugh. But here's the deal. When you make white folks laugh at your jokes, and you're a black person, you making white folks laugh at your jokes, for example, that's cool. As long as at the end of the day, they know that they still hold the trump card.